John Adams. John is one of the many high-type young men who aspire to become members of the Missouri State Highway Patrol. John is aware that a successful candidate become just a cop, but that he will be one of a group of gentlemen who enforce the law, and that service and protection mean conscientious and willing duty at any hour of the day or night. John arrives at patrol headquarters to make application. He meets the training officer who will be responsible for molding him into a capable, self-sufficient protector of the people's rights and the state's honor. The training officer knows that the service rendered by members of the patrol is a direct reflection upon the training provided by his division. He sizes up candidate John Adams. Experience enables him to gauge the possibilities of the recruit to withstand the strenuous schooling program conducted with strict discipline over long daily hours. In 6 weeks, the recruit must acquire a basic foundation on which to build achievement and honor. The school includes a complete physical fitness and firearms training program, coupled with an extensive classroom curriculum, which by instruction and breeding aims at formation of mind, regulation of heart, and establishment of principles. For the patrol believes that the modern officer must be able to cope with the situation both physically and mentally, that courtesy and justness must be as inherent in this character as strict adherence to duty. He is no bully, but neither is he a weakling. When John signed the application, he started a process of investigation and examination, which will, if he is not disqualified or eliminated by it, produce a history of his life. Unknown to the applicant, uniformed men contact his neighbors, acquaintances, and people with whom he has had business. Every hint to his character and integrity, as revealed in the investigation, is thoroughly investigated. His reactions to known situations are studied, and any complaints against him are checked for veracity. An applicant to the Missouri State Highway Patrol must be free of idiosyncrasies which would hamper his efficiency as an officer. If the applicant is found to be qualified, his family life is then investigated, and a visit is made to the home to acquaint the wife or parents with the requirements, dangers, and duties of the job. Their acquiescence or favorable permission has a bearing on the acceptance or disapproval of the applicant. John receives a letter informing him that his application has been accepted. He is to report for the competitive examinations. It's a happy day for John and his wife. The thorough physical examination will require 4 or 5 hours. The doctors are from the State Board of Health. The physical condition and health requirements prescribed are much the same as those dictated by the United States Army for officer candidates. It is during the physical examination that many of the aspirants fail, for no deficiency seems to escape the knowledge of the doctors. John seems to be meeting the requirements. He has yet to take the mental examination and to face the Board of Examiners for oral questioning. All in all, it is a full day. The standard copyrighted intelligence tests are not easy, and combined with observation and memory tests, John will be forced to concentrate to the utmost. Several weeks have passed since John took the examination. Investigation findings and grades have been correlated, and he has been selected to attend training school. He is notified by telegram. Does John appear happy? He should, for out of every 1,000 applicants, approximately 50 are honored as he has been. If he makes the necessary grades at the training school, he will have passed all of the requirements, except the 6 months probationary period before becoming a full member of the Highway Patrol. There is a strenuous program ahead, but John is of the caliber to accept it as a challenge. John is leaving for the school. In the next 6 weeks, his behavior, thoughts, and actions undergo more changes than at any other equal time of his life. He bids his wife goodbye. He'll have very little time to write to her, or even to think of her while in school, for his day will begin with reveille at 6 in the morning, his last class will be over at 10:30 at night, and lights are out at 11. While at school, he'll be isolated from contact or companionship with the outside, except on Sunday when he attends church. This 6 weeks will entirely be spent in preparing himself for the job. In the serenity and beauty of these surroundings, John will have a better chance to grasp and to retain the instructions he'll be given. He will find that the bunks become more comfortable as the fatigue of training increases. There is a well-stocked PX where he may buy candy, cigarettes, and soda. The school is officially opened by the raising of the flag. Before these majestic colors, the recruits will exercise and drill each day and thrill with pride as the last rays of sunlight salute her descent. John arrives. He'll be pleased by the natural beauty of the surroundings that are to be his home for the schooling period. The training officer greets him. From the recruit like John, he must mold an officer who is capable of maintaining the inherent distinction of the patrol. He will be checked in and receive his first supplies. He will also receive the rules and regulations by which he will conduct himself during the school period. For in training, the strictest discipline is enforced, and the recruit may disqualify himself by any gross neglect of gentlemanly conduct. From this moment on, he must be alert in every instance, for he is not only checked on his receptiveness in the classroom, but also on his reaction to the happenings around him. Any incident during the day may have been predetermined to test his perception and his ability to do the right thing at the right time. John is assigned to a barracks which will accommodate 16 men. He must keep his bunk, locker, and the area assigned to him clean and in good order at all times. His neatness will be noted and considered in his final grade. Laundry and barber service and the shower rooms with plenty of hot water keep the trainees refreshed. John meets his fellow classmates. His ability to cultivate friendship will be noted. What's this, bed making? Yes. The instructor is showing the recruit how the bunk must appear to pass the morning inspection. It's all part of the patrol training, just as is the class on history and organization of the patrol. From it, the recruit becomes aware of the spirit of the organization of which he will become a part. Classes are presented so that the recruit may acquaint himself with the work done by associated departments, as the functions of the prosecuting attorney, the functions of the coroner, penal institution, rules and regulations of radio communications, and federal code violations. Other classes are presented with the thought of preparing the recruit for contact with the public. These are public relations, teaching methods, and police courtesy. Members of the patrol are often called upon to speak at social, civic, and educational clubs. The safety department of the patrol has men stationed in each troop area. Their work consists of preparing programs and addressing gatherings. They are the crusaders for safety. Their programs and their ability to present them have become invaluable to the promotion of safety by the patrol. Through their efforts, the youth is instructed in and prepared for safe driving, and the adult is shown how safe driving will help eliminate traffic accidents and fatalities. Classroom conduct is explained, and general instructions are given before the first lecture. Classes, which are conducted in the lecture hall, begin at 8 o'clock and last until noon. There is one in the afternoon between 1 and 2 o'clock, and then 2 at night between 8:30 and 10:30. Groundwork classes include rules and regulations of the patrol, state geography and history, and the Constitution and government of Missouri. On the map, the instructor points out the troop headquarters. The instructors are picked from members of the organization, accredited teachers from schools, and men known for their experience and accomplishments in certain fields. There is no problem of keeping the trainees' attention, for it is their responsibility to be able to pass the many examinations. There are classes on subjects of police technique, such as interviews and contacts, raids, roadblocks and mob control, specialized criminal and crime investigation. Other classes prepare the trainees to contribute to and use the Centralized Information Bureau at General Headquarters. The art of rolling and classifying fingerprints is taught, as are classes on description of persons, identification of persons by pictures, and writing records and reports. The many ways that the central files may be used are explained. The very nature of police work pertains to law, and so a knowledge of violations must be acquired. These studies include rules and regulations of the Public Service Commission, the motor vehicle and driver's license laws, and an intensive course in criminal law and court procedure. Accident investigation becomes the basis for a sound accident prevention program and an index to the enforcement of traffic regulations. Many classes are conducted out of doors so that class participation and demonstration may be employed. The Red Cross First Aid standard and advanced courses are completed at training school. The Red Cross accredited instructor demonstrates a head bandage. The first aid instruction prepares the recruit to alleviate the sufferings and perhaps save the lives of accident victims. At the scene of the accident, the officer must exercise the greatest initiative and resourcefulness, for there he is called on to consider and act in good cadence on a great number of possibilities, such as securing comfort for the injured, eliminating the traffic hazard, determining and acting on any violations, and in the case of the hit and run, starting the action for apprehension. The patrol emphasizes first aid training. The course is reviewed each year at retraining school. Artificial respiration is considered as one of the major factors in first aid training, for through its use, life may be recalled in those suffering suspended animation. The hours spent in first aid training are small price to pay for the satisfaction of being able in an emergency to perhaps save a life. Come and get it. Soup's on. Healthy men have healthy appetites. Capable chefs are hired to prepare good food. Each day, some of the recruits are assigned to dining hall duty. They must prepare the tables, serve the food, and police the dining hall after the meal. The instructors find that the dining hall is a good place to watch for any traits of avaricious manners. Training school menus are prepared with strict attention to dietetic rules for nourishment and balance. Preparatory work in pistol shooting requires many days of practicing the technique and manual operation of the firearm. The recruit is testing his steadiness by dry firing while balancing a dime on the barrel. The firearm is for the protection of the officer. He must thoroughly adapt himself to its use. Only by hours and hours of practice will he become so thoroughly familiar with the piece that his use of it will not create a hazard. He will be painstakingly drilled in stance, grip, sight, alignment, and trigger squeeze before he is allowed to fire live ammunition. A welcome break in the rugged routine of the week comes on Sunday, when the trainees in a group attend church services at a nearby town. In order to become proficient with the firearm, the men must first learn the simple operation of its sighting equipment. Their eyes must be trained to see the alignment correctly. The triangulation test is used to determine if the recruit is doing this. John Adams motions for the bullseye to be moved into alignment with the sights on his gun, which is held rigid. When it is in the correct position, he will have it marked. The bullseye will be moved away, and he will try again. When 3 markings are within 1/4 of an inch of each other, he has used the proper alignment. Men who have never fired a sidearm before will become excellent marksmen during the school. On the drill field, the men attain coordination and bearing. They learn to snap efficiently into the execution of commands. Many times, members of the patrol ride in pairs. This training becomes invaluable in creating the ability to work in complete harmony as a team in times of emergency. Confidence in the reliability of a teammate to go into action quickly and pointedly at the occasion of danger gives the patrolman a decided advantage over criminals, although outnumbered by them. Announcements, news, and a few cartoons make the bulletin board a point of interest. An outline of the classes covered during training school shows many which pertain to the scientific examination and analysis of physical evidence. These classes are not taught with the idea of creating technicians of the recruits, but to familiarize them with the types and nature of certain criminal offenses and the character and condition of physical evidence connected with them. They must be able to recognize this evidence, know how to collect and preserve it, and familiarize themselves with the correct method of transmitting it to the laboratory. Subjects which are taught by laboratory technicians are plaster casts and moulage, development and lifting latent fingerprints, significance of hairs, fibers, soils, glass fragments, and paint particles in criminal investigation, procedure in gathering and preserving seminal and blood stains, comparison of handwriting, firearms identification, and detection of poisons and narcotics in homicide investigation. When the recruit has mastered the manual operation of shooting, he then starts training for the practical use of the weapon. Here, surprise targets bob up from the underbrush and remain in view only a few seconds. As the recruit becomes more adept, the bobbing becomes faster. The practical use of the firearm, the mechanics of arrest, the daily practice of judo holds and disarming methods are tactics aimed at preparing the recruit for self-preservation. Another practical shooting course is the 70-yard one, which includes shooting from the standing, sitting, and prone positions, both right and left-handed. During the course, the gun is fired from cock position and double action. The firer runs from the starting line to within 10 yards of the target while firing 20 rounds of ammunition. The course must be finished within 2.5 minutes after starting. However, the strict rules of safety observed on the range while at school require that the men walk the course until thoroughly familiar with the procedure. During this course, the streamlined movements for quick draw, double action point shooting are developed. This is the natural use of the weapon in a gun battle. Although much of the training tends to equip the trainee to avoid such drastic measures, he must be trained also to face the occasion when necessity demands. Although the firearm program centers around the use of the sidearm, instructions are given on many other types of weapons, one of which is the gas gun. It shoots a 37-millimeter projectile. The projectile contains a gas bomb which explodes, scattering a great amount of gas over the area in which it lands. Gas is used to bring persons into the open when they are armed and have entrenched or barricaded themselves. The gas grenade is used for the same purpose. Two types of gas are used. One is tear gas, and the other is a mixture of tear gas to which has been a nauseating or sickening agent. With the use of gas, apprehensions are many times made without injuring the person apprehended, an act which would be difficult or practically impossible by other methods. The submachine gun is considered by the patrol to be an emergency weapon, and although each man must learn to handle its very fast rate of fire, they are not carried for general use. After 6 weeks of this training, the recruit has become accustomed to the smell of burnt powder and the noise and recoil which accompany it. It is graduation day, and our friend John Adams is among those who have completed the training. He stands proudly at attention, serious and touched by the oath he has taken. Like the Stars and Stripes, he represents a standard of the American way. This is a day he will long remember. Friendships made here are seldom forgotten. The superintendent prepares to award the recruits with their commissions, after telling them of the conduct and loyalty expected of them in their work as members of the Missouri State Highway Patrol. There is always a possibility that men newly uniformed and armed may have a tendency toward severity in the functions of enforcement. The experienced man will soon demonstrate the value of a more gentle and courteous conduct. 6 weeks of concentrated instruction and training are drawing to a close. In no sense does the Highway Patrol believe that these weeks have produced a finished product. They have taken the raw material, shaped it, and added the basic components. The job is now in the hands of the recruit himself. He must smooth the rough edges, blend in the components, and polish well. He has a probationary period of 6 months in which to demonstrate that he is capable of producing a polish. Each year, as a member of the patrol, He must attend the retraining school where new instructions and development of techniques do not allow him to forget his basic training. There they go, anxious for duty as a group of gentlemen who enforce the law.